Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube and welcome back to the channel. We are in the beautiful Charlestown in Cornwall, and guys, it's been ages since we posted a video, but we are back, baby. Oh yes, oh yes. And I wanted to give you an update about where we've been, what we've been doing, and share a very special video with you that we filmed last November. So guys, let's get into this. Now, as some of you may or may not know, we took the decision last year to move to Cornwall, and it was about the time we filmed the video in Olbia in Sardinia, link down below because that video did really well, thanks guys. And we decided to move down to Cornwall at the end of 2023. So we came down in December and we've been here ever since. It was a massive project for us. Moving to Cornwall is not easy, in case you guys didn't know. It's a bit of a process and it's quite hard to get housing down here, especially with all the second homeowners and everything else. And we'll go into a lot more detail in that in future videos. But here we are now in Cornwall. It's been a fantastic few months. Everything is sorted and we are back up and running again on the YouTube. That was the intro to an intro to an intro, a little update on what we're doing. I'm just enjoying a fantastic walk on the beach, which is like the everyday now. So guys, let's get into the video. November 2023, our last ever visit to Cornwall as tourists. And then we'll get into some newer content from the next one onwards. Well, seeing as it was November when we filmed this video, we just had to go to a local bonfire night. I love this time of year, cold crisp evenings, cosy nights by the fire, and the prospect of Christmas just around the corner, one of my favourite seasons. I can just feel that Christmas tree farm visit coming on. We are of course in Padstow on the northern Cornish coast, and what a nice day for it too. A place I always love to visit when we're in Cornwall. The home of good old Rick Stein and his many eateries, including of course the place where it all started, the seafood restaurants. I love all of the little shops here, bars, delicatessens and restaurants. Whilst there might not be an abundance of beaches in Padstow, of course there are plenty nearby, and my favourite of those being Trevone Bay. It's a great little spot to spend a few hours exploring, shopping, and of course trying lots of great Cornish food. It's no secret that Padstow is one of the UK's top foodie destinations. When it comes to quality restaurants, the little town of Padstow certainly packs a punch. Other than Rick Stein, some great chefs have restaurants here, from Rick Too Good at Prawn on the Lawn and Barnaby's, Paul Ainsworth at Number 6, Stuart Marshall at the Mussel Box, the list goes on. There are also some great and very famous bakeries here, like the Chuff Bakery, the Cornish Bakery, and the Clementine Cakery, to name but a few. You can also pick up some great boat trips from Padstow which operate seasonally from the harbour. Some of my favourites are the Jaws 2 speedboat trip, Padstow Sea Life Safaris, the Ferry to Rock, the Jubilee Queen, and Wave Hunters. Padstow also has some great little Cornish pubs, and a ritual for us, as we visited pretty much every time we're in Padstow, is the Old Custom House. Great beers, amazing views of the harbour, and some really good food as well. Padstow is a captivating destination and a real North Coast favourite among visitors, situated on the western bank of the Camel Estuary with so much to offer, leading to many people returning here time and time again to soak in the town's delights. It's a historic fishing port with a maze of picturesque narrow streets of stone, painted and slate cottages, and a pretty working harbour, making it the perfect base for a Cornish holiday. A little known fact about Padstow is there have been Cornish wrestling tournaments held here for at least the last 200 years. Tournaments have been held at the Drill Hall, the lawn overlooking the harbour, and the Commercial Hotel. So if you're a budding wrestler, maybe this is the place for you. And it's time now to leave sunny Padstow and head to the first of our beaches in today's episode, Trevone Bay. It's around 10 minutes away by car or a 7.5 mile walk from Padstow, a moderate route along the rugged Atlantic coast. Trevone Bay and its stunning beach are situated in an area of outstanding natural beauty. A gently shelving sandy beach surrounded by high cliffs featuring the iconic Trevone Round Hole, or as we call it, the Blowhole. And the popular tidal pool, one of the largest on the Cornish coast, it's affectionately known by locals as Tinker Bunny's bathing pool. Although I'm not so sure I'd recommend this in the winter months. Trevone Bay is a hive of activity on and offshore. With the southwest coastal path passing over the cliff tops, walkers can delight in the spectacular coastal scenery and views to Hawker's Cove, the Camel Estuary and beyond. For those keen to discover the marine wildlife, find Rocky Beach around the small headland, aptly named for its rocky outcrop, perfect for rock pooling. Trevone is a popular beach with both surfers and families, locals and tourists. The main beach is sandy inlet that is actually far deeper than it is wide. To either side of this expanse of golden sand are rocky ledges. Fully embracing the Cornish sunshine and heading over to beach number 2 now, the beautiful Constantine Bay. 10 minutes to the south by car or an hour walk along the southwest coast path. Constantine Bay is a village and beach on the Atlantic coast of North Cornwall. It is situated approximately 3 miles west of Padstow and is in the picturesque parish of St Merrin, which is also home to the fabulous Cornish Arms pub. If you're driving past, it's well worth a stop for some nibbles and a great pint of Corev. With a reputation as one of the best surfing beaches in Cornwall, Constantine Bay Beach offers a sweeping arc of gently shelving, soft pale sands, as well as an abundance of rock pools to explore. Named after St Constantine, a 6th century Cornish saint, this wide sandy beach is separated from its neighbour, Booby's Bay to the north, by a thin rocky point. Whilst Constantine Bay is bordered by a large rocky reef to the south and backed by a network of sand dunes. Although popular for swimming and paddling, this west-facing beach has strong rips, so caution is advised for swimmers, and you should always observe the signs on the beach. Constantine is a very popular surf spot producing top quality waves in the North Cornwall area. It has a reef at the southern end of the bay that works through the tide, depending on the swell size. Next we head out to Trevose Head Lighthouse. Not the easiest place to find, but when you do, the views are simply breathtaking. The dramatic headland just west of the town of Padstow is the setting for this white tower. Designed in the mid-19th century to bridge the gap in ship guidance in the Bristol Channel between the Longships Lighthouse near Land's End and Lundy's off the coast of North Devon. 2 further lighthouses were then built along Cornwall's north coast at Godfrey and Pendeen. Calls for a light in this area date well beyond its construction, and indeed Trinity House considered the proposal a number of times in the 40 years preceding its inauguration in 1847. Originally, Trevose Shore Station supported 2 fixed lights, one high and one low, though the lower light was withdrawn in 1882 and the higher light changed to an intermittent beam. Despite the proliferation of sea mist and fog in this area, it was not until 1913 a foghorn was added to the station. 1995 saw its 2 lighthouse keepers leave as the signals became automated and controlled from Trinity House's nerve centre in Essex. Now, if you're into Doc Martin, you may well recognise our next location. That's right, we're in Port Isaac, also known as Port Wenn in the show, which has really put Port Isaac on the map. There was no filming when we arrived, but if you look closely, there are plenty of nods to the show. With narrow winding streets lined with whitewashed cottages overlooking a small harbour, Port Isaac is a truly picturesque village. Set amongst rugged and magnificent coastal scenery, you can understand why it's become something of a film star in recent years. Port Isaac is a traditional fishing village in North Cornwall that is home to the TV series Doc Martin, starring Martin Clunes and the Fisherman's Friends Shanty Singers. Visitors to the village can wander around and pick out the locations where scenes were shot, from the Dr. Ellingham's house on the west side of the harbour to Mrs. Tishel's chemist shop on Middle Street, Louisa's home on 4th Street and Bert's restaurant. Away from Port Isaac, nearby locations where filming has taken place include Doyden Castle on the cliffs above Port Quinn. This folly was built in the 1830s by a local landowner as somewhere secret to entertain his friends. It's now a holiday home. Another Port Isaac fact is that it has one of the narrowest alleyways in the UK, or some say the world. Known both as Temple Bar and Squeezy Belly Alley, at its narrowest point it is only 18 inches wide. And that's all we've got time for in this episode. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.